What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new around here, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button and also drop a like. Thank you guys for checking out another one. It's gonna be a short one, but I've had the car for a few months now. My F80 M3 you see behind me, I've had it for a few months now, and I think I have a good idea of what are some of the good or best first mods that you can do to your car or to this car. So we're gonna go over those today, and this is all just opinion, so I know for everyone it's gonna be different, but I like to see other people's opinions as well and see what they think is the best, and kind of gives me ideas. But I want to tell you guys today what I think is the best first 5 mods that you should do to your F80 M3 or F82 M4, and also the M2 competitions with the S55 engine. Before we get into it, make sure you guys check out some of my previous videos if you guys have not already. I got quite a bit of videos up right now, and I'm going to continue to keep uploading more and more videos. I think as the G80 and the G82 comes out next year, I think more and more people are going to be getting this the M3 and the M4 for the people that are trading up, obviously. So there's going to be new owners getting these cars just like I did. So for you guys that are just getting it, this will give you guys some ideas of what you can do. So let's jump into this video. Alright guys, so one of the first mods I think that you can do, or is a good mod for not just this car but any car, is gonna have to be wheels. Although the M3 and the M4 come with some pretty nice wheels, especially the competition wheels, they're pretty nice. Just going with a more aggressive wheel, like a wider wheel, is gonna allow you to run a bigger tire. Like myself, I'm running a 305/30 tire, and I just have so much more traction. That was the biggest issue when I first got this car, is I just did not have traction. So getting a wider tire just allows me to run a bigger tire. Getting a wider wheel just allows me to run a bigger tire, which is awesome. And not to mention, it looks really good. I mean, there's just endless amounts of different wheels out there, so you can get whatever you think. But like I said, the M2, M3, M4, they come with some really nice wheel options from the factory. They're just not that wide, but you can run a spacer. Say you don't have the money for wheels right away, I recommend you run spacers for sure. That's like the first thing I did, was run spacers on my old wheels until I was able to get these. But that's gonna be the first mod I think anyone should do, is gonna be wheels or spacers in the meantime. And a better tire is always gonna be better. So that is the first mod I think you should be doing to your car. Alright, for the second mod, I'm definitely gonna have to go with either lowering springs or coilovers, whatever you prefer. For this car, I specifically wanted to go with lowering springs because I really like the ride quality, and I wanted to keep the functions of the dampening inside the car. You can choose like the sport dampening, the comfort, or sport plus. So you can pretty much pick how stiff you want the suspension to be, and I really wanted to keep that. And I also didn't care to go too low, so lowering springs was perfect for me. The price is good, but the biggest reason I wanted lowering springs was just to get rid of the wheel gap that the factory wheels have, or the car has. So from the factory, just pretty much any car is gonna have a pretty big wheel gap. So just getting rid of that wheel gap just makes the car look so much better. So that just goes hand in hand with getting new wheels or spacers. Just like the fitment on your wheels and the gap that you have makes the car look a lot better and a lot more aggressive, in my opinion. I have the EDM springs, the manual design springs, and I'm loving them so far. It was like a perfect drop. I don't rub at all. I'm running a 275/35 tire up front, which is pretty wide, and I have no issues. And this is a 9.5 wheel, 19 by 9.5. No rubbing whatsoever. The car isn't too low, which I also like, so I have no issues scraping anywhere, going in and out of driveways. And with these specific springs, the ride quality stayed just like factory, which I also really like. So it's still really comfortable in comfort mode, which is one of the biggest things that I wanted to keep, was that comfort and that quality ride. So the springs combined with the wheels is probably the two of the most important upgrades that you can do to pretty much any car, but this car specifically. I am running, these are Titan 7 wheels, 19 by 9.5 up front, and then 19 by 10.5 in the rear. Also, check out this window shade or sunblock, whatever you want to call, that I just got for this car. I really wanted to get something to block the sun for when I park at work during the day, and I found these on Amazon. They got the little M, like the tricolor, it says M, Motorsport on there, just to let people know if they didn't already know that this is an M. Pretty cool, 20 bucks. If you guys want to know the link for that, let me know and I'll tell you guys in the comments. All right, let's jump into the next one. So for the next mod, this is going to be a two-part, and one of my favorite things about this car is going to be the intakes, and more specifically the turbo sounds. So the spooling, I have engine intakes, but you can pretty much go with any intake system, and it's going to just make the spooling of the car just sound so much louder, and I just really love it. That's one of, for me, exhaust note and turbo sounds, or supercharger, depending on what your car you have, is like two of the best sounding sounds that you can get out of a car. I just love the way these turbos spool. I do have a video up from when I installed them with some sound clips if you guys want to check that out, or pretty much how I installed them. You guys can check that out as well. So the intakes, absolutely love them. I think for any car enthusiast, you're gonna want these. If you want to leave your car completely stock and you just want it to be like quiet and comfortable, I probably wouldn't recommend these, because you will hear the turbo spool in any mode efficient. Obviously, as you go up to Sport and Sport Plus, it gets even louder just because the boost is increased. And then not only that, but if you have any kind of tune, it's going to get even louder. So pretty much the higher the boost you're pushing, the louder the intake sound. But I just love how they sound. They have a natural blow-off valve noise to them, so when you let off, I absolutely love the way when you get on throttle, you hear the turbo spooling, and then you let off, and then you hear a little bit of the burbles, depending on how you have your exhaust set up. Sounds awesome. I love it. And then with the intakes, honestly, I would also, this is just a two-part, I would recommend you get charge pipes. Everyone pretty much knows that the plastic charge pipes that come on this car from the factory tend to crack or tend to start leaking. So that's one of the things they're not going to offer any performance, but you do want to change those out. Pretty much for preventative maintenance. So I just got these from our Motorsports, just wrinkle black. They match perfectly with the engine intake. Just keeps the engine looking clean, but you can get different colors, stuff like that if you want to go flashy. It's whatever you want to do, but I absolutely love intakes. Highly recommend it. All right, guys, so for number 4 of must-do mods for the S55 cars, the S55 engine cars, this is a must-do. I honestly think so. Is going to be a single mid-pipe, either VRSF or Active AutoWorks mid-pipes sound amazing. Active AutoWorks also has an equal length mid-pipe if you want to spend a little bit more. It just makes this engine sound so good. From the factory, everyone knows it has like this really raspy tin noise, and I just installed the VRSF mid-pipe, nothing else. I have stock mufflers, stock downpipes, and it sounds amazing. You can check out my 2 previous videos. One is where I installed it, the VRSF mid-pipe, and the second one is just sound clips in the different modes. So if you guys want to hear what it sounds like, definitely check that out. But I think it absolutely transformed the way this car sounds, and just driving it, it really changes the driver feeling. Without it, with the stock exhaust, the car is really quiet, and honestly all you hear is the fake noise that the BMW puts out through the speakers. So that kind of gets drowned out now by the actual exhaust note and tone of this car. So make sure you guys check that video out. I would definitely recommend it for anybody, and it's pretty affordable. The VRSF one is a really good price, really good quality, so definitely check that out. Alright guys, so the most important mod that you can do to this car for me would have to be a tune. It could be any tune. I personally went with boot mode. I know there's other ones, there's probably better ones out there, but for me this was from what I saw, was the easiest to use. The price is really good, and just the features that it offers are just endless and amazing. Even if you have a completely stock car, I highly recommend this for anybody, especially if you have a DCT. If you have a DCT car, what this does is it has, let me see if I can find it, it has a GTS transmission flash that is free. It's an off-the-shelf. It comes with the program when you buy it. So it has a GTS transmission flash, and what that does is, one of the biggest things I noticed when I first got this car, it is very jerky in any mode that you have it. Obviously inefficient, it's not going to be as bad, or D1, it goes D1 to D3. So in any mode that you have it, it's really jerky, especially when you go down to like a stop sign and stuff like that, or getting off the stop sign. It kind of feels like a manual transmission car. That's one of the great things about the DCT, that it really has its own characteristic. So right here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you have the GTS transmission flash, and I have that uploaded onto my car, and it just made the shifts on this car so much better, and it rides so much smoother. Not only that, but it made the shifts even faster than they already were. And that's just one of the benefits of having something like boot mode 3. Another thing is going to be the different tunes that they offer. They have they have 2 free tunes. One's going to be the CS tune. So if you have a stock, like a base model, I guess M3, like I do, M3, M4, they offer a CS tune, so it's going to give you a little bit more power. I don't know exactly what all it entails. Then they have this right here, which is the M4 GTS tune, which is even more power. It's literally just the tune that they would have on M4 GTS, which is like the highest power. That and the CS have the highest power from the factory. So it's going to upload that tune, but it's calibrated to know that you don't have a water meth injection or the water injection kit. So it's made for M3, like the base model M3, M4. And then with that, with the purchase of the tuning of boot mode, you also get one paid for tune that you can pick from. I went with the stage 1, and then this is ACN, which is, I believe it's I forgot what it stands for, but pretty much this is for people that live in California, Nevada, and I forgot what other state. So, and I think California, Nevada, and Arizona, I think that's what it stands for. So this is for that lower quality 91 gas. Unfortunately, it's just a safer tune for us. So that's the one I went with. I will go to stage 2 once I get downpipes. And then it just lets you do a bunch of stuff, like it lets you adjust the burbles on there. You can find custom tuners and get a custom tune if you wanted to. There's just so much stuff you can do. You can make changes to your own tune, diagnostics, data logging. You can clear codes. There's just so much you can do on here. I highly recommend this for anybody that gets this car. Just the transmission flash alone makes it worth it. But then you add in the ability to upload different tunes and adjust your burbles. Like mine, I brought the burbles down because I just really didn't want them to be too aggressive. So if you watch my previous video with the sound clips of my exhaust, you'll see that it's not too crazy. As you go up to Sport Plus, it gets a little bit more aggressive, but for the most part, it's pretty mild compared to like what other people have. And here are some of the different tunes they have, which is the CS one, that's a free one, the M4 CS, free one. There's a couple. It's pretty much the 0 plus, the ones that say stage 0 plus, which is OEM tunes for other model cars other than the base model. Those are all free, and then you get one paid for, which they have just stage 1, stage 193, and then the California stage 1, California stage 2, just so many different ones. There's even some for like E85 and whatnot, race gas. And you can always purchase more. I don't know exactly how much it is. I believe it's like 100 and something. All you need is the software and this cable here, and that's all you need to start tuning your car. It's so easy. You can add a lot of power, just a tune, no mods whatsoever. It's pretty awesome. If you want to see more of that, go to my previous videos and you'll find it in there, and you can learn a little bit more about the tuning. That is going to be it for today's video. I really appreciate you guys checking it out. It was just a short one. I wanted to get this out there to you guys. For those of you interested in getting one of these, or maybe you just got one and you haven't done nothing to it, there's so much other stuff that I've done to this, but for me, those are like the top 5 after having the car for a few months that are definitely worth the money. So I appreciate you guys. Once again, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.